In today's video, we will learn through the creation of the responsive bookshop which features dynamic items and add to cart button using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. My goal with this channel is to post videos on different topics every week. This will help you to become a full stack developer. It's important to keep watching this step-by-step tutorial until the end. Here on the screen, we can able to see the bookshop with empty basket, the value of 0, and then the list of programming books available here with star rating, price and add to cart button. All the values listed here, it was dynamically added from the JavaScript. No more static element. Once user clicks the add to cart button, the selected items will be added into the cart and the basket count will updated from 0 to 1 based on the clicks. And here we can able to see the cart list while clicking the basket here on the top. Inside the cart list we'll get all the selected items which have update quantity buttons and the subtotal calculations and close button. On changing the quantity here or adding books from the book list, the subtotal calculation will automatically updates as well as the basket too. Once user set the quantity to 0, it will automatically remove from the cart as well as the basket count here. We can able to increase the count here or we can do it from the list, and we can add, we can remove, we can close this basket list and we can able to open it again. Before beginning this video, I would like to introduce myself as Sharat Chandar K. Most of you are watching my videos without subscribing, so please subscribe to our channel and like this video to encourage me. Let's build our own. Here on my desktop, I have already created a project folder name called the bookshop with add to cart. Let me open this into a Visual Studio Code. So for that, I will drag this directly into a Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code will automatically loads all the files inside it. Inside the directory, I have already created a folder name called images that contains all the product image and index.html, style.css and script.js. So here inside the index.html, I have already added a HTML boilerplate with the help of Visual Studio Code extension with exclamation mark, and I have added the title name called add to cart by Sharat Chandar K, and I have linked other two files. First I have linked the style.css with the help of link and then script.js with the help of script, and then along with this I have added one more resource file with the help of link. I have mentioned the font awesome icon here. With the help of this we are going to use the font awesome icon. So inside the body we are going to add the container. So for that in Visual Studio Code we have a extension to add the div with class. So with the help of dot container, if we hit enter, it will automatically create a div tag with the help of class attribute with the value of container. Inside that we are going to add the header, and inside that we are going to add the s2 element, the value of the bookshop, and then we are going to add the one more div class value of shopping basket. If we hit enter again, it will create a div. Inside that we are going to add the cart icon here with the help of font awesome. So I will use the I tag with the help of class, and then fa contains font awesome and fa cart shopping, and I will mention the size as font awesome XL. Along with this we are going to show the counts, right? So for that I will use the span tag with the help of class quantity and then value of 0. Let us see our HTML file in action. So for that in Visual Studio Code we have installed Go Live extension. Once we click in the status bar, it will automatically loads our project into the default browser. Here in the browser we can able to see the header of the bookshop with the basket and then count of 0. I have splitted the screens here. Now we are going to design this bookshop header. So for that I will jump to the style.css. In the style.css I have already added the import URL of font family poppins. So this one we are going to use in this project. So along with that I have added a asterisk here. Asterisk is an wildcard. With the help of this I have resetted the margin to 0 and padding to 0. I have assigned the font family as Poppins, and then box sizing should be border box. And then I'm going to add the styles to the body with the help of element selector name called body. I will assign the background color to white, and then I'm going to add the styles to the container with the help of class selector with dot container. I will assign this margin to center with the help of margin auto, and I will set the transition to 0.5 seconds, and then I will assign the width of the container to be 900 px, and then max width should be 90 VW. VW is an viewport width. And then if I save, now we can able to see the design instantly the changes. That is how the live server will work. And again we are going to add the styles to the header with the help of element selector name called header. Will set display flags, and then align item center. We are going to set the bookshop and then basket into a single liner with the help of justify content space between, and then I will set the padding to top and bottom to 15 px and right and left to 80 px. We'll set the cursor to pointer and we'll set the height to 80 px. If I save, now we can able to see the bookshop and the basket into a single liner. Now we need to set this quantity on top of the basket, right? So for that I am going to add the styles to this shopping basket with the help of class selector dot with shopping basket. We'll set the position to relative, and then we are going to assign the quantity, right? With the help of shopping basket with span tag, we can use this shopping basket. We can say element selector of span tag, or we can say with another class of quantity here. I will set the background color to red of the quantity, and I will set the color to white. I'm going to show this as a circle, so I will set this border radius to 50 percentage, and then padding to top and bottom to 0, and then right and left to 8 px. I will set the position to absolute, and then we are going to set the top to minus 15 px, and then we'll set the left to 20 px. If I save, now we can able to see the quantity on top of the basket. Now we are going to add the dynamic product. So for that I will create one more div here with the help of products. If we hit enter, it will create a div with the class value of products. Inside the products we are going to add the dynamic items here. So for that I will jump to the script.js to add the products here. So in the script.js, first we'll declare the declaration with the help of con. I will set the first declaration to the body element with the help of document. Document is the owner of an HTML page. With the help of document, we can get all the elements inside the HTML. With the help of query selector with the name of body. If I do a console.log here with body, if I save, if I go on insert element here, we can able to see the body here. This is how the DOM tree will work. And then next thing we are going to assign the products, right? With the help of products with document dot query selector again with the help of dot products. Inside the products, we are going to add the items. So for that, we'll create a function with the name of onInit. Function is a block of code designed to perform a particular task. So inside the function, we are going to do that operation. So for that, I will create a array of collection with let array products. With the help of this, we are going to set this dynamic values. So I will create a array here. Inside the array, we are going to assign the products. So I will set the ID of 1, and I will set the name of the product is HTML, and I will set the image with the value of image1.png, because inside the folder we have the images with image 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6. Image1.png, and price as for HTML I will set to $1000, and then rating should be 5. The same thing we need to do for couple of products. For now we have 6 images, so I'm going to create 6 object inside the array. So I will copy and paste it for 5 times here, and I will change the ID to 2. Instead of HTML I will mention this as CSS, and then image value was 2. I will change the ID of 3 JavaScript, and for the CSS I will mention the same price as 1000, For rating, I will change to 4. For JavaScript, image of 3, and then I will sell this for 5000 bucks, and then rating of 5. And then for fourth one, I have mentioned this as jQuery, and then image value of image 4, and I will sell this for 2000, and then rating of 3, and then this one as ideas 5, and then I will change these things to React, and then image value as 5, and then the price as 5000, and then rating should be 5 again with the ID of 6. I will change these things to Angular, and then image as 6, and then price as 5500, and then rating should be 5 again. With the help of this array products, we are going to add the dynamic products list here. Right now we have done with this array products. If you want, we can connect to the database and we can achieve this. Please let me know in the comments. On here inside the on init, we are going to loop through and add it into the product list. So here with the help of ARR products dot for each, and I will set first parameter as item, and then we'll get the key here. With the help of function bracket, I will set this console.log to check what the items we are getting. So I'll go on insert element here. In the console.log, nothing is displayed because we have created the function. We need to initialize it, or we need to invoke this, then only this block of code will be execute. So if I save, now we can able to see the IDs as well as the name, image and price and rating too. With the help of this, we are going to append the HTML here. Here inside the for each, I am going to create one more div with the help of let div document dot create element. As I mentioned, document is the owner of all other object in your web page. With the help of document, we can able to create or delete. We can do whatever we want. So with the help of create element, we are going to create the div. With the help of div dot, we are going to add the class list with the div dot add the class value of item, and inside the div we are going to add the inner HTML of values. So for that, I'm going to add the string here. Inside the inner HTML, I will add the image source equal to, as we know already, we have placed the images inside the image folders with the help of images, and we are going to get the dynamic values here with the help of concatenation item dot image. We'll close this image here. If I save, nothing will happen. So we need to append this div inside the products. So here we have already declared these products here, products dot append child of div. If I save, now we can able to see the images of all the products here. We'll add the styles to the images. So I will set the styles to the image directly, width of 50 px. Now we can able to see all the images here, and now I'm going to add one more div with the class of name and then value of product name here with the help of concatenation again item dot name. If I save, now we can able to see the HTML CSS name to this, and again we'll add the price with the help of div class value of price, and then I'm going to add the small icon here to the rupee symbol, and then after that again with the help of concatenation item dot price. If I save, now we can able to get the price here too, and now we are going to add the button. With the help of button, I will set add to cart. If I save, now we can able to see the add to cart button with the dynamic products here. Now we need to style this, so I will jump to the style.css here. Again I will set the styles to the products. With the help of display grid, we are going to set these products into a list of columns based on the screen size, right? So we are going to add the grid template columns with a repeat of 3 per row and 1 frame. If I save, now we can able to see the 3 per row on a single row, and then I will add the column gap to 25 px, and then row gap to same 25 px. We'll set the margin top and bottom to 10 px, right and left to 30 px. We'll set the padding of 0 for top and bottom and 55 for right and left. If I save, now we can able to get all the products into the center of the screen. Now we are going to style style this item. So again, with the help of products, we have already added the styles to the each div. With the help of item, if we check into the insert, we can get all the div with the class value of item here. With the help of subclass of item here, I will set text align to center, will set the padding of 20 px, border radius to 20 px, will set the box shadow to it with the help of 0 0 px, 50 px with the color of light black color. If I save, now we can able to see the item box here, and then we'll set the letter spacing of 1 px, we'll set the cursor to pointer, and I will remove this image styles here, and I'm going to add the dot products dot item and image, and then I will change the I to 130 px to all the images. If I save, now we can able to see the images here. Now we need to add the shadow to same as what the image is present here. So with the help of filter, we'll set the drop shadow 10 px, 10 px for right and left, and 5 px with the color of light gray color. If I save, now we can able to see the shadow here related to the image. And then once we over the image, we need to do the scaling for that. So again, with the help of image here, I will set the over to this, and I will set the scale of 1.2, and then transition to 0.5 seconds. If I save, if I go on over, now we can able to see the scroll and transition effect to that images. And then again, I will add the product items with styles to the name. Will set the font weight to 600. If I save, now we can able to see the font weight of the product names here, and then we'll set the space of the price with the help of products item and price. We'll set the margin to 10 px. If I save, now we can able to get the space of that price. Now we'll style the button with the help of product list item. Again, with button, I will change the background color to black, and then color of the text should be white, and then padding should be 5 for top and bottom, and right and left to 15 px. We'll set the border radius to 20 px, margin top to 10 px. We'll set the cursor to pointer. We'll remove the border to none, outline to none. If I save, now we can able to see the design of the button. So we'll add the icons to the each button. So for that, I will jump to the script.js here inside the button. So this is dynamic, so we can handle it one place. It will be reflected on all the list item here. I will add the icon with the help of class. We are using the font awesome with fa dot cot plus. If we close, if I save, now we can able to see the icons to the each button. So now whenever we click add to cart, it should add it to the basket, right? So for that, we are going to create the function again here inside the button. We are going to add the on click event here with the help of function name called add to cart, and again I will create the function here below with the help of function keyword add to cart. We need to add this product into the list, right? So for that, I will create one more let declaration name called checkout list. What are the list we have added, it will be stored to this checkout list. So here inside the add to cart, we need to pass the items based on the click, right? So we need to pass the id. So only we have created array products id here. So based on the id, we can pass and we can add it to the list here. So again, with the help of concatenation, I will pass the key here. I will receive the item here. I can mention it as id, and I will check this console.log with id here. If I save, if I insert element here, if I refresh, if I add to cart, now we can able to get IDs based on the product. If we click multiple times, we'll get only that particular ID for that particular item. So here we'll check this checkout item list of ID double equal to null. Then we are going to add the checkout list of ID here with the help of array products with the help of ID again. How this works? We'll check this ID of products here. So again I will do the console.log here. If I save, if I add this HTML here, now we can get the array of products with the help of ID of HTML. And then if I add again, now we'll get the CSS. If I add the Angular, now we'll get the ID of 6 with the Angular. So this will automatically added to the checklist here. So I will remove this. Now whenever we added this checklist, we need to show here, right? So for that basket, we are going to create the HTML. So I will jump to the index.html. In the index.html, I am going to add the cart with the help of div with cart. Inside the cart, I am going to add the h3 element, and we can mention your cart, and then we are going to add the product list with the help of ul tag with the class value of product list. Inside this product list, we are going to list all the selected items on the basket. So again, we are going to create one more div with checkout, and then one more div inside that with the class value of total. We are going to show all the subtotal here, and then I will create a small tag again. We'll set the label of subtotal and then items of 0, and then here we'll place the rupees symbol with 0. If I save, now we can able to see the your code with subtotal here. And then next to this, we'll add the close button with the help of div with close value of close. If I save, now we can able to see this your code subtotal and close. Now we need to style this. So again I will jump to the style.css here with the help of class selector name call cart, and we'll set the position to fixed, and then top to 0, left to 100 percentage, and then width of 400 px, and we'll set the background color to light black color. If I save, now we can't see that. If I set this left to 0, now we can able to see this. And then I will set the height to 100 vh. We'll set the transition to 0.5 second. If I save, nothing will happen. So instead of left, now we can able to see the design. Inside that, we are going to add the styles to the h3 tag. We'll set the font weight to 100, and then we'll set the text align to center, and then color of white, margin top to 10 px. If I save, now we can able to see this, and now we'll design the checkout here with the help of cart dot checkout. We'll set the position to absolute, and we'll set this into the bottom of the cart. We'll set the bottom to 0. If I save, now we can able to see this into the bottom of the cart, and then we'll set the width to 100 percentage. We'll set display to grid. We'll set the grid template column repeat 2 times for 1 frame. Now we need to style this. It was set into the bottom. So again with dot cart dot checkout to div, we'll set the width of 100 percentage. We'll set the height to 60 px. We'll set the display to flags to set this into the center of the screen, and then we'll set this to the center of the div. Align item center, justify content center, and then font weight to bold, cursor to pointer, and then background color to beige. If I save, now we can able to see this subtotal as well as the close button. Now we need to style this close button into a different color with the help of cart dot checkout. If I go here, we have the close here. With the help of close, we'll set the background color to black, and then color of white. Now we can able to see this. We can set like this, or we can set this with div nth child of second. If I save, the same should be applicable. We have a class, or we can directly do this with the help of nth child. We can check which are the childs we are going to add the styles here. If I save, and here I will add the left to 100 percentage. If I save, now we can't able to see that code. Whenever we click this, that time only we need to show that code. right? So for that we need to do the functionality. So here with the help of shopping basket, I will go here and I will create the declaration to the shopping basket document dot query selector with shopping basket. Whenever we click this, we need to set this cart as open, right? So for that shopping basket dot on click, we are going to add the class to the body dot class list dot add will set active. If I save, I will go and check here this is adding or not. So I will do the insert element here on the body there is no class added. Once we click this, now we can able to see the class was added, right? Whenever this added, we need to open that. So again I will jump to the style.css. Here we'll add the styles with the help of active to the cart. We are going to add the class to that particular cart. So here I will set the left of calci 100% of variable. It will be calculated for 100% with minus 400 px. If I save and then if I refresh, if I go and click the basket here, we can able to get the cart list here. We can close, we can't able to close that. So we need to do the close functionality to this with the help of class close here. Again, I will go and declare one more declaration with document dot query selector. I will mention this as close cart and then same thing. I will copy this on click and I will paste it here. Instead of shopping basket, I will change these things to close cart and instead of add, I will change these things to remove. If I save, if I go and click the basket, now we can able to see this. If we hit close, it will close. How cool is this, right? So now whenever we add to this, we need to show inside this. For that, in the add to cart list, we are going to implement that product list too. Here we'll add one more method. Below this add to cart, we are going to create one more function with the value of reload cart. Inside the function, we are going to add the product list. So I will go here, I will copy this product list here. I will declare one more declaration with document dot query selector dot product list. I will clear all the inner HTML of this product list and then we'll do this for each for this checkout list. Checkout list dot for each with the item again with key console dot log. We'll check the item. If I go here and we'll do the insert element, the console, if you click add to cart, nothing will happen because we have not yet called this function. So inside the add to cart, we need to call this function. So I will save it again. If I click, I can able to see this HTML and CSS, and if we click again, it will get. So here we have missed that rating here. We need to show the rating to the dynamic values, right? We are going to create one more declaration with star with empty, and then I'm going to add the for each of i equal to 1 and I less than item dot rating, and then I will set I plus plus. Inside that console dot log will check of I. If I save, now we can able to get all the ratings for each product item. The HTML is for 4 and then CSS is 3 and then JavaScript for 5, like that. So here we are going to append the stars based on the count. So I will copy this. Let declaration will add the I element with the help of class font awesome fa star. If we close this, if I copy this star here and after the name, I will create one more div and I will concatenate the star here inside the inner HTML of item list. If I save, now we can able to see the list item here. For the JavaScript, it was 5, but still we have received for 4 only. So here instead of 1, we can make it as 0. If I save, now we can able to see the stars based on the rating. I will add the styles to that star here with the help of font awesome star. With the help of color, we'll set the yellow color. For this, if I save, now we can able to see the yellow color to all the stars. Now again, we'll jump to this reload cart here. Inside the checklist, based on the click, we have already received the items, right? With this item, we are going to add this inside the product list. What we have done for this, item list 2. Same again inside the product list dot append child item. Append child. Previously we have created a div. Instead of div, now we'll create the li because we are going to append this inside the UL, right? So I will create li document dot create element with li and then li dot inner HTML with the string concatenation. Inside this, again we are going to show the image source of that particular image of selected item, concatenation of item dot image, and then we'll create one more div. Inside the div, again with the concatenation of item dot name here, one more div with item dot price, and we'll append this child to the product list. If I add to cart here, it was added. If I go and check here, now we can able to see the HTML is added here. I will set the width of tpx. So here we can able to see this. If I add the CSS of 50, now we can able to see the two products inside the list. We need to style this. So I will jump to the style.css with the help of product list. We'll set the padding of inner spacing 15px, height to auto, and then again we are going to add the styles to the product list dot li. We'll set the display to grid. We are going to show all the values in a single liner with the grid template column of 100px. We'll set the repeat for 3 and then 1 frame size. We'll set the color to white again with a row gap of 10px. We'll set the margin bottom to 20px. We'll set the border 1px solid, and then we'll set the product list li with image width of 50px, and I will set the background color to white. If I save, if I go and click add to cart here, if I open here, now we can able to see the cart list here. Instead of border, we'll set these things to border bottom. In the script.js, we have missed to add the buttons here. So it is in the dynamic, so we can do it easily. So again, we'll create one more div. Inside the div, I'm going to create the button with minus, and then we'll create one more div with quantity, and I will copy the button here and I will change the value to plus. If I save, if I add to cart, if I click, now we can able to see this. Whenever we click add these things, the basket should be updated, right? So for that, we'll set let count equal to 0. Along with this, we are going to calculate the total price to 0 for the count plus equal to item dot quantity. For adding the count, we need to add the quantity here. So here in the add to cart, we are going to add one more property here to the checkout list id dot quantity to 1. This quantity we are going to update here. So here into the count plus equal to item dot quantity. If I save, we'll get the count here. This count we need to append into the quantity, right? So before that, we need to create the declaration to this quantity. I will copy this quantity equal to document dot query selector with quantity, and here outside the for each quantity dot inner HTML equal to, will set these things to count. If I save, if I add, now we can able to see the add count here. So I have already added this item, but we click again, the quantity is not updating, right? So we need to add this functionality in the add to cart function. In the add to cart function, we have already added this checklist. With the help of id, will directly update the quantity plus equal to 1. If I go and refresh here, now the cart is 0. If I click add to cart, now here you can see 1. If I click again, now we can able to see the quantity of 2. Previously we can't able to add that, so now we can able to add based on the click. Here we need to update this value also, right? So before that, we'll style this button. So again, I will jump to the style.css. Again with product list li with div, we'll set the display to flags, align items to center, justify content center. If I save, now we can able to see the div all in the single liner. And then with the help of product list again with li with button, we'll set the width of 25px and then height of 25px, and then we'll set the border radius to 50% and we'll remove the border to none, and then outline to none. If I save, now we can able to see the button style here to the cot, and then we'll add the styles to this count too. So here for this div price will add the class of count. So I will copy this count dot product list li dot count. Will set the padding to 10 px. If I save, if I add these things to the cart, if I open, sorry, instead of here, we need to set things to the inside the button. So I will add to cart here, and if I click now, we can able to see the styles here. Now we need to add this count dynamic values, right? So again here inside the count, we need to concatenate these values from item dot quantity. If I save, if I click add to cart here, if I go and click, now we can able to see the quantity update is happen. So and then we need to add the functionality to these things too. Whenever we click this, we need to change this. We need to update the quantity also, and then subtotal too. So first we'll add the subtotal here with the help of total price here with plus equal to. We are going to add the pass in to convert this item price into the integer with will set equal to 2 item dot quantity. If I save and then total price, we need to add one more declaration for this to the total equal to document dot query selector it's dot total, and this for the total dot inner html equal to, we need to add the same string from here with small subtotal, and instead of this we are going to change the count, right? So I will add the concatenation of count here with items again with the total price of total price. If I save, if I go and click add to code here, now this is 1000 and 5000, total 7000. Now we can able to get this. If I click one more this, we can able to see the 4 items, and then total price is 8000. Whenever we reduce and increase, we need to change that. So for that, here inside the button, we are going to create the on click event of change quantity, and we'll pass the key here, and then we need to pass the item dot quantity. We are doing the -1 from here. The same thing, I will copy this from here and I will paste it to the increase functionality here, and instead of minus I will change these things to +1. And now we need to create this change quantity function here with the help of function keyword change quantity, and I will set the key, and we are passing the quantity based on the item selection here. If quantity double equal to 0, we need to delete the object inside the checkout list with the help of key. Else we need to check the checkout list quantity with the help of key dot quantity will update from the value of what we have passed, and then we need to reload the cart, right? So for that we have already created a reload cart function here. We need to invoke from here. If I save, if I add to cart here, if I click this, if I change the quantity here, we are getting the error. What was the error? Dollar is not defined. So here we have missed curly braces instead of function bracket. So I will change these things to curly braces instead of function. So if I hit add to code here, and I will open from this, if I click now, we can able to see the item changes as well as the subtotal too. I can remove. If it is 0, it will be removed automatically from the list. See, now we can't able to see that. If I add to code, it will automatically come, and I need to set this button cursor pointer. If I save, now we can able to see the cursor pointer here. We can click and we can reduce. As we mentioned, this bookshop is unresponsive. Whenever we switch the device, we need to align this item properly, right? So for that, if I go to the tablet view here, this is what the tablet view. See, now we can't able to see the list here. If I go to the mobile device, we can't able to see the list properly, and it was collapsed. So we need to add the responsive design to this bookshop. So for that, I will jump to the style.css, and I will add the media query with the help of only screen size, max width of 550 px, and we'll set the header to padding 25 px. If I save, if I go to the tablet view, and then we'll set the product list with display block, and then we'll set the padding to 5 px, and then we'll add the products dot product item. We'll set the margin bottom to 20 px. If I save, we can't see the same, right? So before that, we need to add one more media query to only screen size of max width to 770 px. So we'll change the products list of grid template column to repeat for 2 times for 1 frame. If I save, now we can able to see the product list here. Whenever it was in tablet, we can able to see the products of list item 2 per row. The same thing here, I have missed the space. If I save, if I go to the mobile device, now we can able to see the list item per row per one. Here also we can able to add, and we can able to see the list of products here, and we can able to add, and we can able to see this, and we can able to close. We can remove, we can close. Now the basket also should be resetted, and we'll go for the tablet view, and we'll go for the bigger device. So here if I refresh, the code will be empty, and then we can able to see, we can able to add, we can update the price also updating, and then quantity also updating from here, and we can able to remove all the values from here, and the code should be empty here. Finally, we have completed the bookshop with add to cart functionality using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. I hope this video will be helpful for you. Please like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel Sharat Chandar K to watch more videos like this one. If you are interested in JavaScript projects like this, I have created and added a playlist, link in the description. Please do check it out. Now I want to hear from you. If you have any questions or what JavaScript topics do you want us to cover in future videos, drop your suggestions in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep coding and keep learning. See you in the next video. Happy coding. Bye for now. Have a nice day.